How I grew my Airbnb business to 100 plus properties with this Airbnb operating system. If you're building a small Airbnb portfolio right now, maybe you've got one unit or you're still trying to land your first deal, but deep down, you don't want this to just be a side hustle. You want to grow it into something real, 10, 20, even 100 properties that actually gives you freedom. The truth is, it's not about money or location. It comes down to one thing almost no one is talking about. I'm James Murphy, and over the last 6 years, I've launched over 500 short-term rentals across 4 continents and altogether generated more than $30 million in booking. But I started small, just like you. At the time, I was working a full-time job, 60 hours a week. I'd stay up late managing listings, sending offers, answering guests at midnight, and I'd spend weekends flying around to walk the units. It was meant to be freedom, but it felt like a second job. Everything changed when I discovered what I now call the Airbnb Operating System, AOS. It's not a hack or a tool, it's the framework that let me scale my portfolio into a real business without burning out. In this video, I'll walk you through the 5 pillars of AOS, so you can grow your income and freedom even if you're starting from just one listing. Let's dive in. Phase 1 of AOS. The foundation infrastructure. Let me just clear something up real quick. AOS isn't just a singular software. It's a holistic, interconnected ecosystem of cutting-edge tech solutions, artificial intelligence, and data-driven methods that can allow anyone to scale from 0 to 100 plus properties. The AOS itself has 5 distinct phases that build on each other. Miss one phase and your entire scaling journey crumbles. Master all 5 and you'll have a system that runs your Airbnb business while you sleep. It may sound overwhelming at first, but hang tight. I'll break down exactly what I use and why so you can skip the guesswork. All right, let's start with the first foundation of scaling to 100 properties, the 3 must-have tech stack. First, you need a property management system. This is your command center. Guesty, for example, offers a quality dashboard that provides real data across all your performance categories. This includes accuracy, check-in experience, cleanliness, communication, location, and value. It's like having a crystal ball that shows you exactly what's working and what's not across hundreds of properties. The power is in the integration capabilities. Guesty connects directly with all major platforms, including Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, Google Vacation Rentals, and Expedia. One booking triggers automatic updates across every platform instantly. The second fundamental piece is AI-powered dynamic pricing. This is your revenue optimization engine. Tools like PriceLabs use machine learning algorithms that analyze historical data, real-time market trends, local events, competitor pricing, and even weather patterns. The predictive analytics capability can forecast demand before it actually happens, which is crazy. Now here's where it gets really interesting. These tools now have AI-powered upselling built inside. This means that they automatically fill those annoying gap nights by offering personalized discounts or even letting guests name your price. I'm seeing massive increases in my average daily rates during peak times, but also filling way more nights during the slower periods. If you're still operating your short-term rental business without AI, I've got to be honest with you, it's only a matter of time before you get wiped out. Let's move into the future. The third and final element of my must-have tech stack is enterprise-level channel management. This is what creates your unified command center. Platforms like Guesty don't just sync your listings, they create a unified inbox where all messages from every platform come into one place. Everything is automated with customizable templates and response times drop dramatically. This is when the AOS magic starts happening. A guest books, your smart lock generates a unique code, the cleaning gets scheduled, and your automated welcome messages are sent out. Everything works together seamlessly without you having to lift a finger. This enables you to shift from a reactive to a predictive stance. Your system tells you what's going to happen before it happens and automatically handles it. This level of automation enables new hosts to scale without hiring proportionally more staff. Now, having the right tech stack is crucial, but there's one automation that completely eliminates time wasters in this business, and most hosts are still doing it manually. Phase 2 of AOS, communication automation. Before, I'd wake up to 30 plus messages asking the same question: what's the Wi-Fi password? How do I get in? Where's the closest restaurant? I was spending 2 to 3 hours every morning just answering basic questions. It was ridiculous. Then I discovered AI-powered guest messaging, and it completely transformed how I operate. Phase 2 of AOS transformed your communication from a cost center into a revenue driver through AI-powered guest messaging. But here's what most people get wrong. They think AI messaging is just about automated responses. It's not. The advanced systems I use today are trained on my personal communication style. When guests interact with my AI, it sounds like me, not some generic robot. The AI learns how I speak, my tone, and even my local recommendations. I'm talking about tools like HostBuddy AI and platforms that integrate with your property management system to create what I call a concierge in your pocket. However, when you scale, some of your properties may be located in another town or even another country. But don't worry, because these systems handle multiple languages automatically. The AI seamlessly switches between languages depending on the guest. It's like having a multilingual team working 24/7, and it doesn't end there. The AI also analyzes the emotional tone of every conversation. If a guest seems frustrated or confused, it immediately escalates to me with a detailed context of what's going wrong. And if someone's having an amazing time, it automatically offers upsells like late checkouts or recommends local experiences. The tools I use to constantly monitor the quality of every interaction are also HostBuddy AI. They can even spot patterns that indicate a guest might leave a negative review, sometimes days before the checkout. The system alerts me to potential issues so I can address them proactively rather than reactively. I had a situation where the guest mentioned the Wi-Fi was a bit slow, and the AI flagged it to me as a potential satisfaction issue. I immediately had my team upgrade the internet package and sent the guest a personal message explaining the fix. What could have been a 3-star review about connectivity became a 5-star review praising our responsiveness. And did you think that was it? Well, there's still another huge perk of using AI for communications. It now identifies opportunities I would never catch. I'll give you a real-world example. I had a guest who booked last minute for a work trip. The AI detected the guest's urgency from our conversation and escalated it to me with full context, allowing me to quickly offer early check-in. The guest left a 5-star review praising the responsive service. What used to be a cost center has now become a revenue driver and brand enhancer. And the best part, this is all happening while you sleep. Time zones don't matter anymore, whether it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. Every guest gets instant, personalized responses that feel authentic. Now, messaging automation is powerful, but there's another layer that makes feel guests like they're staying in a 5-star hotel. And it happens before they even step foot in your property. Phase 3 of AOS, Operations Excellence. When I first started scaling, I was sometimes dealing with complaints about dirty properties, last-minute maintenance emergencies, and cleaners not showing up. It was a nightmare that was costing me thousands in refunds and affecting my reviews. I thought I could just hire more cleaners and everything would work out. I was wrong. Phase 3 of AOS creates predictive operations that prevent problems before they occur. I just needed to get the best software that could help me stay aligned with my cleaning and turnover teams. Let me show you my 3 favorite software and hardware solutions for cracking maintenance at scale. The first one is AI optimized cleaning management services. These are platforms like Turno and Breezeway. Apart from automatically scheduling cleaners based on check-ins and check-outs, these systems can be used to assign specific tasks on the team's availability, skills, and even proximity to the property. The second component is real-time quality assurance. I mainly use Cleanster and its geolocation to verify that cleaners actually show up on site. They require photo confirmation of completed work, which I think is genius. Before and after photos, standardized checks lists with visual guides and damage reports. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a situation where a cleaner reported a broken lamp during their routine cleaning through the app. The system immediately flagged it, ordered a replacement, and had it installed before the guest checked in. But it doesn't end with the reports. These new AI tools analyze historical data, manufacturer recommendations, and usage patterns to predict when maintenance should happen. For the third solution, I present you with IoT, or Internet of Things sensors. And if you don't know what they are, you are in for a treat. An example of this is a water sensor that detects a tiny leak under a kitchen sink at 2 a.m. This system automatically alerts your maintenance team who can fix it before breakfast. What could have been a flooded kitchen and a ruined guest experience became a non-event. The guests never even knew anything had happened. While the cleaning checklists generate data on property condition and cleaner performance, the IoT sensors will continuously monitor environmental factors. And both of these combined with the guest feedback from AI messaging systems, you're getting a rich, real-time data set about every aspect of your business. This is the difference between running a small-time operation and building a real business. When you have predictive operations through phase 3 of AOS, you can scale to dozens of properties without losing your mind. Now, these 3 maintenance solutions are extremely powerful, but there is one critical system that ties everything together and transforms them into clear, repeatable actions. Phase 4 of AOS. System standardization. You can have the best tech in the world, but if your team's not on point, scaling past 20 listings will break you. Listen, at some point in my journey, I had a wake-up call. One cleaner would follow instructions perfectly, another would skip half the steps. Guest experiences were all over the place. I realized I had a systems problem. Nothing was standardized, and it wasn't actually a people problem. Phase 4 of AOS creates intelligent standard operating procedures that ensure consistency across your entire operation. This is where intelligent standard operating procedures became my secret weapon. Let me break down the 3 foundations of scalable SOPs. First, you need to create an AI-powered SOP. I started using AI SOP builders such as Whale that can generate detailed step-by-step guides based on simple inputs instead of spending hours writing procedures. I can describe what needs to happen and the AI creates comprehensive guides instantly. It's wild. The AI analyzes workflows, identifies missteps, and suggests improvements to make processes clearer and more logical. It even defines roles and responsibilities for each team member automatically. This ensures everyone knows exactly what they're accountable for, saying goodbye to missed deadlines. Second, it's a living collaborative system. Team members can now comment on SOPs and suggest refinements based on real-world experiences. This creates a continuous improvement loop where your procedures get better over time. You can even create short videos demonstrating procedures that work for different learning styles and help with language barriers. Whether someone's at their desk or on site at a property, they can access these guides instantly. Thirdly, you can use SOPs to gamify the training. This turns boring procedures into games with rewards, competition, and progress tracking. Employee engagement increases by 60% using this methodology, and people are 10 times more likely to remember what they learn. As an example, Sony Music saved $100,000 by eliminating live workshops through gamified e-learning. I can train cleaners in Perth or Sydney in the same way that I train them in London or California, consistently and cost effectively. When phase 4 of AOS is implemented, you're not dependent on individual superstars. You can replicate excellence across your entire team. This is what allows you to scale rapidly while maintaining quality. And this is how you build a business that runs without you constantly micromanaging every single detail. These systems will generate another layer of automation and data, but it's this last piece that transforms raw info into decisive strategic action. Phase 5 of AOS, financial intelligence. The final phase of AOS transforms you from a property manager into a strategic real estate investor. When I scaled to 100 plus properties, I had to transform how I approach financial tracking completely. This isn't just about basic profit and loss. It's about having unified visibility across your entire portfolio, enabling you to make the best decisions as quickly as possible. My go-to tool for competitive benchmarking is Airbnb. I mainly use it for its performance dashboard, which allows me to build custom comparable sets, allowing me to directly compare my occupancy rates, pricing, and total revenue with those of similar properties in each market. Airbnb also provides proactive market intelligence, showing me booking trends up to 180 days into the future. I can see periods of surging demand and typical booking lead times for comparable listings, so I can adjust my pricing and strategy before missing opportunities. By using this tool, you can change from reactive accounting to proactive portfolio optimization. It empowers you to predict future outcomes and make strategic changes. You can either identify underperforming assets before they become problems or double down on market niches showing huge potential growth. This is the key difference between simply managing properties and building a scalable investment portfolio. But the real power of AOS Phase 5 is shifting to direct bookings. When you execute this correctly, you can strategically shift up to 40 to 50% of your business bookings to direct bookings. This eliminates the online travel agency or OTA fees, the fees of Airbnb and Booking.com, etc., and gives complete control over the customer experience and the cash flow. I did a calculation once to tally up the total fees that I saved on online travel agencies by getting to 40 to 50% direct bookings across my portfolio, and it was over $500,000 in a year. When you do this now at a small size, you might not notice it as much, but as you grow and scale, it can be game-changing savings. So how did I do it? Well, I built custom websites with integrated booking agencies using platforms like Boostly that connect directly to the property management system. Now I get to keep 100% of revenue instead of paying 15 to 20% in platform fees. Here's a real-world example of what this means. One of my properties was generating about $4,000 a month on Airbnb. After implementing a direct booking strategy, we secured a long-term 1-year booking at a premium rate that brought in more than $7,000, increasing our monthly position by thousands of dollars and massively improving our net profit margin. And that's the power of having all 5 phases of the Airbnb operating system working together. Phase 1 builds your foundation, Phase 2 automates communication, Phase 3 creates operational excellence, Phase 4 standardizes your systems, and Stage 5 provides the financial intelligence you need to make the best decisions based on real-world data. This financial intelligence system tells me exactly which properties to renovate, which markets to expand into, and which assets to divest. It's the difference between managing properties and building a scalable investment portfolio. And that's the power of having all 5 pillars of the Airbnb operating system working together in a nutshell. Now you've discovered exactly how to leverage the Airbnb operating system to scale to 100+ properties without enslaving yourself to the business. But let me warn you, to scale at the highest levels and to build true wealth in this industry, there's so much more to it. I've built a multi-million empire across 4 continents and still have a lot to share with you. So if you're ready to take your Airbnb hosting journey to the next level, I recommend you watch this next video where I'll show you the exact blueprint I wish I had when I was scaling from my first property to my freedom number. I'll see you there.